Welcome folks, I've just taken delivery of the new BCB Crusader Cooker Mark II, which is anodised aluminium, and I have on the right my original Crusader cooker with the coiler fire rope in there, that's shown on the previous video. I'm going to try and do something different now that I've got the new Mark II, because as you can see, compared to the old model, it's deeper. There's a bigger differential, greater distance between the fuel well and the bottom of the Crusader cup when it's lit. So what I'm going to actually do is something totally different, and I'm going to try and burn, or turn this into a wood burning stove, into a wood stove. It's not something I've seen done before. I have actually managed to boil water using wood in the original version, but it was very labour intensive. Needed a lot of TLC to keep it going and get my water hot enough. So I'm going to attempt to turn this into a wood gas stove. I'm going to start a fire in the bottom, add wood, put the Crusader on top with 250 ml of water, and see whether we can get it to actually get a mug of water on the boil. So I'm just going to fill the cup up. Rather put 250 millilitres of water in there. So, and by the way, this is the original stainless steel mug, and it will fit on top of the new cooker, but you need to make sure that the pot stand closes by moving away from you like that. If you turn it around the other way, it doesn't sit properly. So sits nicely that way. I'm going to just put the heavy duty foil on top of the Crusader there. Move the old model out of the way. What I'm going to do is use the fire steel to ignite the silver birch, and then I'm going to add these little shavings on top, and my little miniature feather sticks to get it going. We'll see how we go. Go, put that in there. More birch on there. So I'm either going to be successful and it's going to work, or we're going to destroy the new cooker. Not sure which. Hopefully it'll work, but we'll get it going. We'll get the fire going in there. First of all, so we'll get that going. Hopefully it's not going to do any damage to the cooker. I wouldn't think it would. Didn't expect it to. Prepared some pieces of kindling, which hopefully will take quite nicely. And assuming that this works, we should be able to do this with twigs, etc. out in the great outdoors. So we need that to get going and then burn down a little. So I could put a little grate across there and get the cooker on a little bit earlier. The cup on there a little bit earlier rather. It's going to be very smoky. I don't think I'm going to be able to get the cup on there now, but I'll try. It's not very stable, so we'll just give it a minute. Should be better. As you can see, there's a lot of smoke. But we'll let that go and see what happens. We might need to keep feeding it. And there's no sort of, there's these air inlet holes here, but as it's not designed as a wood stove, it's not an easy exercise to keep feeding it once the cup's on there. So I'll leave that for a while just to see what happens, and then if I need to add fuel, I'll add fuel. So it's a stainless steel, the original stainless steel Crusader cup, which if you configure the cooker correctly and the pot stand closes by closing away from you, the old style mug will sit in there nicely. So as you can see, we've got a lot of smoke. The new Mark II cooker is anodised aluminium. It's very lightweight. So it's still going quite nicely. It's burning quite quickly actually. We've been asked whether the Crusader cooker will actually double as a wood stove, and like I say, I've tried it once and it did work, but it was very labour intensive in this smaller version. So as you can see, there's not a lot of room in there to put enough fuel. But with this newer version, there's more depth, so you never know. This is the first try anyway, and it is working. Put a bit more fuel in. Keep it going, it's very smoky. Very smoky, so obviously we're going to get very black mud here. Well, there's plenty of bubbles in there. It's by no means close to a boil yet, but let's get in there. Might just break down some of that charcoal there. You can see because I've taken the stove off, the cup off the top, there's more oxygen getting in there, and it's helping that wood combust, which is interesting. So it's obviously starved of oxygen, which obviously is important. So what I could do is put a metal grate across there to raise the cup. A bit more in this way. I've got to keep messing around with it. But the capacity is there in this cooker to make this work. To allow it to work, I should say. It's burning well. It wants to burn. It is the lack of oxygen, I think, which is preventing it from burning more efficiently. That Crusader cap is getting very sooty, which isn't a problem because they do clean up quite nicely, and it's not imperative that you clean them, but I do like to get as much soot off as I can, although I'm not too precious about it. It's working. And we're getting close now to a rolling boil. When we get a rolling boil, I'll take the camera out of the tripod. It's very smoky. Oh yes, we've got a rolling boil. So 250 millilitres of water, rolling boil in, I think, about 5 minutes. I'm just going to get a bit shaky now. So there we are, 5-6 minutes. You can hear some crunching as well. There's a hedgehog underneath the shrubs eating cat biscuits, middle of the day. So we take the Crusader off, and then we get more oxygen to those flames, and up they go. So it does work. I could keep feeding this. So the key really is to make sure that you can get the fuel down below the bars here, or put another pot stand across there, like a grid, to allow the Crusader to sit higher. I think that's probably going to be something I'm going to try. Of course, then you need to carry an extra piece of kit with you. I'm just going to blow through the side now, see if I can get that to continue burning. yes, in conclusion, it works. It took about 5-6 minutes to get a quarter of a litre of water to a rolling boil, and because the cup sits quite low, it does deprive the flames of oxygen, so the higher it is, the better. As you can see, it comes alive as soon as you move the cup up. So that's food for thought, but it is viable. It's very hot actually, and very smoky. So hopefully that's answered a few questions that people have asked, not just me but others, of the Crusader Cook System. The new Mark II cooker is deep enough to facilitate using it as a wood stove. Not sure whether it's going to damage the stove. I wouldn't have thought so. So yeah, it works. And if you find yourself out in the great outdoors without any methylated spirits or hexi blocks or anything of that nature, you can burn wood in this thing. So hopefully that's been of interest, and I'm going to actually do a burn comparison with this new stove against the old Crusader with methylated spirits, with fire rope in both cookers, just to see how they compare. And I'll upload that as well at some point soon. So